Hey babe, I need to talk to you about something incredibly important. This isn't just another conversation, and it's not one of those late night emotional messages we've exchanged before. What I'm about to share is something that's been building inside me for a very long time. It's something I should have said months ago, maybe even years ago, but I didn't have the courage then. Now, I do. And I know that once I say this, things between us may never be the same again. Still, I can't keep carrying it in silence, because silence has been breaking me piece by piece. So please, I just ask one thing of you. Give me a few minutes of your full attention. Don't scroll. Don't look away. Don't let anything else pull your focus. Just stay here with me, because every word you're about to hear comes straight from the deepest part of my heart, the weight of silence. For the longest time, I've been pretending I was fine. I smiled when people asked about us, said, I'm okay, when deep down, I was anything but. Nights were the hardest, lying awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about every single word I didn't say, every moment I let slip away. There's a kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being without you, from knowing you're out there, breathing, existing, laughing maybe, but not with me. That emptiness has followed me everywhere, in my car, at work, even in the small, ordinary moments when I catch myself reaching for my phone, thinking I'll text her, only to remember I can't anymore. I've carried this truth in my chest like a storm waiting to break, and today, I can't hold it back any longer. You deserve to hear it all. No more half-truths, no more walls. Just honesty. How it all began. Do you remember the first time our eyes met? I do. Every detail is burned into me. The way the light hit your hair, the nervous smile you gave, the way time seemed to stop for just a second. That moment wasn't just the beginning of a story. It was the beginning of change. Before you, life was fine, predictable, safe. I was just moving through it, doing what was expected, saying what was necessary. But then you showed up, and suddenly everything had color. Suddenly, I felt things, real things, scary things. You woke something in me that I didn't even know existed, something raw and human and alive. When I first held your hand, it felt like the world made sense again. It was like touching something sacred, something I'd been searching for without knowing I was searching. You brought peace and fire all at once. You were chaos wrapped in grace, and I fell for you in ways I didn't even think were possible. The beauty you brought into my life, your smile, God, your smile. It could melt away the darkest thoughts in an instant. It wasn't just a curve of your lips. It was a promise, a sign that there was still goodness in this world. When you laughed, I could feel it in my bones. When you looked at me, I forgot everything else existed. You had this way of making everything feel lighter. You made the ordinary beautiful. Late night walks, coffee stains on the counter, random songs playing in the background. Everything became poetry when you were in it. You didn't even have to try. You just were. You loved me without needing to fix me. You saw me at my lowest and didn't walk away. You didn't just love the version of me that smiled. You loved the parts of me I tried to hide, the insecurities, the fears, the brokenness. And that's what made losing you so unbearable. Because how do you move on from someone who loved all of you? Where I went wrong. Somewhere along the line, I stopped listening. I stopped being present. I let my fears whisper lies into my ear that I wasn't enough for you, that you'd eventually see through me, that you'd realize you deserve better. So, instead of holding on tighter, I pulled away. I made mistakes that I can't take back. I said things I didn't mean. I acted like I didn't care when, in reality, I cared too much. Pride became my armor, and in trying to protect myself, I ended up wounding you. I know now that I hurt you deeply, maybe more than I even understand, and I hate myself for that. I see now how many times you tried to reach me, how many times you chose patience over anger, forgiveness over pride. You gave me chance after chance, and I kept letting you down. I thought I was being strong by keeping my distance, but all I was doing was running from vulnerability, from truth, from love. And in doing so, I lost the one person who ever made me feel seen. The aftermath. When you left, I tried to pretend I was okay. I told myself I could move on, that I could fill the space you left with other things, work, friends, distractions. But nothing worked. Nothing even came close. Every song on the radio reminded me of you. Every sunset felt incomplete without your hand in mine. I'd pass by the places we went together, that little cafe on the corner, the park bench by the river, and it was like time folded back on itself. I could still see you there, laughing, talking, loving me. There are moments I still wake up in the middle of the night, half expecting to find you next to me. And when I realize you're not, it feels like the air leaves the room. It's an ache that doesn't fade, a kind of grief that doesn't come from death, but from distance. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't just heartbreak, it was consequence. The guilt that follows. I carry the guilt of what I did, or failed to do, every single day. It's heavy. It's constant. It sits in my chest like a weight that refuses to lift. I replay our conversations in my head, the ones that turned into arguments, the moments where I should have said I'm sorry but didn't, the times you cried while I just stood there frozen. I think about the things I could have done differently, the words I could have chosen better, the times I should have hugged you instead of shutting down. You gave me everything, your love, your trust, your loyalty, and I repaid it with confusion and distance. And even now, after all this time, I still can't forgive myself for that. If I could take back the hurt I caused, I would. If I could rewrite our story, I'd make sure you never had to question my love for even a second. But life doesn't work that way. So all I can do now is tell you how sorry I am, and mean it with every fiber of my being. The truth about my feelings. Here's the truth I've been avoiding, the one that kept me up night after night. I never stopped loving you. Not for a single day. Even when we stopped talking. Even when we drifted apart. Even when I told myself I had to let you go, I couldn't. Because you're not just a chapter in my life. You're the whole story. Every moment since you left has been a reflection of that truth. When I hear your name, my heart still reacts. When I see someone who looks like you in a crowd, my breath catches. When I remember your voice, it feels like home for a fleeting second before reality crashes back. I've tried to explain it to myself, why it's still you after all this time, and the only answer that ever makes sense is this: because it was real, because it was love, because no one else has ever come close. How you changed me. You changed me in ways I didn't even realize until after you were gone. You taught me what it means to be patient, what it means to truly care for someone beyond convenience or comfort. You showed me that love isn't about perfection. It's about presence, about choosing each other even when it's hard, even when you're scared. And I failed that lesson when it mattered most. But now, I finally understand it. I've grown since you left. I've had to face the parts of myself I ignored, the pride, the fear, the immaturity. I've learned to sit with my pain instead of running from it. I've learned to be accountable, to be honest, to be humble. But what breaks me most is knowing that it took losing you to learn all that. Why I'm reaching out now. I'm not here to manipulate you, or to make you feel guilty, or to reopen old wounds. I'm here because you deserve to know the truth, and because keeping it bottled up any longer would be a lie I can't live with. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect things to go back to how they were. I just want you to know that I see now, clearly, what I had and what I lost. And if there's even a chance, however small, that we could find our way back to each other, I give everything to make it right. I want to love you the way you always deserved to be loved, with consistency, with effort, with honesty. I want to show you that I've changed, not with words, but with actions. All I ask for is one chance, one opportunity to prove that I can be the person you believed I could be.